Hello, welcome back to Monday Quilt Chat. How do we know it's rainy season in my neck of the woods? Back to curly. At least for a couple of months until we get into the super dry winter air. Then I may go back straight again. But this is my natural curl. For all of you new people, I kind of morph in and out of straight and curly, so get used to it. But yeah, it did turn off kind of drizzly and chilly here this past weekend, and another day or so of it, and then the sun's going to come out again, I believe. So it will be colder, but it'll be nicer. It's been very, very dreary in my neck of the woods here. And well, I thought I wasn't going to have hardly anything to talk about today, but once I started gathering things around me, I realized, oh my goodness, this is going to take 30 minutes. You ain't got time for that, do you? Well, this past weekend, I was all excited about getting ready to finish out that horse panel quilt. And I opened the fabric that I got for it and got to looking at it, and I was like, this is not the right shade. So I picked up a gray, and yes, it is gray. It's kind of a whitish gray swirl called Mirabella. And evidently there's another gray called Stone. That's the color that I have in the quilt already sewn up. So I had to jump on real quick and see if I could find that and get that coming here as soon as possible. Hopefully it'll be here this week sometime. But I did find it. I only need a half a yard. So good thing I didn't buy more than that to start with. And I found a place that did it without shipping. So, you know, another $10 or so and I'll have it. Oh, so anyway, that did not happen. And I was really wanting to get that off my plate this weekend. But I got into some other things. I got into 3 other things. First of all, I'll show you the easy thing I did, and that was the block from the So Yeah subscription box this month. And I don't remember the name of the block, but we're doing these Riley Blake solid blocks. All of the blocks are using solids, and this was the 10th block, so we'll have 12 blocks for the entire year, and we'll have to put that together in a setting of some kind, of which I haven't seen yet, so I guess that's coming later. But I whipped that up really quick, literally. It came together very quickly, and then I thought, well, this is a good time to finish my FPP star that I did not mention on Friday because I was so frustrated. I wasn't really all that frustrated because I have been saying, and it is true, that I am enjoying very much the FPP process this time around. But I did get my New Jersey star done. Didn't have it done on Friday, so I did work on it Friday and Saturday to finish it. I think the last time I showed you this, I had 4 of these 8 sections done, the star points, and turned out one of them was not right. And then when I went to do some more, I think I did 2 in a row wrong, so that was 3 wrong. And then I finally did a right one, and then I put it down, and then I came back the next day and finished the other 3 up. But I'm kind of getting my rhythm with it now, to where I won't make those dumb mistakes. The mistakes I'm making are just like picking up the wrong fabric, picking up for the A section instead of the B section, and dumb stuff like that. So the actual sewing part of it I've been doing okay with. And I wanted to show you something about this book. Those of you that have it have probably seen it and, you know, have seen all this information that's in here. But I was looking a little closer at the pattern, and the patterns show you what size of piece to cut. They'll say cut a 2 1/4 or 2 1/2 by 4 1/2 piece, and the other FPP patterns I've done have not done that. So like this Alaska star here, in this lower yellow section, there's a column that says piece dimensions. I think it's the third column over. So that helps a lot too. You don't have to kind of look and study it and think, okay, how much do I need? How much should I cut out of here? I don't want to cut too much. I don't want to cut too little. So that is very helpful. I did not notice that until I was almost done. So anyway, if you hadn't noticed that before, notice it because it is helpful. And I'm just going by the colors that they're showing recommended on these stars. I'm just gonna use something out of my stash for all of it, whatever I can find. I may do some repeats too, because in this star I have fabric left. Not all of them do I have fabric left. I don't have any of this. This is a white it's got a pattern to it, and I used just about every piece of that I had. I only had little scraps left, so I won't be using that particular white anymore, but I will use like this green. That's actually a vintage piece of fabric, that solid kind of mint green there. I have probably a fat quarter's worth of that left. The two coral pieces I have left. The yellow I have a little, and the other blues I have plenty of. And of course black, we always have black. So I'm gonna keep those. I've been keeping like a basket down here. I'll show you. Might as well just show you everything since it's sitting here. I've got so much stuff to show you. So I just throw my fabric in here as I'm using it. It's just in a big wad the whole time. But these are the fabrics that I use, so obviously I have some left. So I'm going to keep those in here, and then whatever star I pick next, I'll just keep adding to that and keep using out of that part of my stash. And then also the cutoffs. I've been keeping a plastic bag of cutoffs. And as I mentioned the other day, I am so done with teeny tiny scraps. I can't hardly bear to throw them in the garbage, but I don't want them in my scrap bin either. So I'm keeping a bag and I'm just collecting them up. And we'll get back to that subject in just a minute. So there's my New Jersey star is done. Hey, let's pick another star. Okay, here's what I did last time. I just stuck my finger in and I picked one. Connecticut. Here's Connecticut. Connecticut is next. Just can't wait to see it, can ya? I can hardly. Well, it's all blues and greens that I like. I can handle that, I think. There's the pattern pieces, not too bad. Not as bad as the last one. It only has 6 pieces per star point. Yeah. Good. I'm ready. I'm anxious. I want to get started. Connecticut it is. All right, got that little task out of the way. I'm glad I thought of that. And then, okay, the scraps. Last Thursday, not this past, but the one before, remember I told you that I came in to do some sewing and everything was a wreck and I just had to stop everything and clean and straighten? Well, I got to messing with my scraps and I was like, something needs to give with these scraps. And I talked to you all a little bit about maybe putting some penny auctions on eBay and getting rid of some scraps and even getting rid of some stash that I know I'm not going to use. Well, I've started on that project, and if you see a link in this video in the description box for an eBay listing, that means I did get these on eBay and they're active right now. So if you want scraps, I have ready for you. There's this big bag that I showed you. This is probably 2 pounds. And then I have another one, about the same in weight. It's a smaller bag, but there's more in there. This one might be slightly less, I don't know. But I'm telling you, there's very little in here that's even measurable. It's like less than an inch in most places. It could be longer, but it might be less than an inch. It might be, there's a lot of triangles. You could certainly put them together and make half square triangles if you wanted to. But it's everything. This is my whole sewing history right here. So I will have 3 bags of penny auctions on eBay if you see the link in the description box. If you didn't see the link in the description box, that means that I had a hard time getting the listing up, or I forgot how to do it, or something happened. So we'll get back to it eventually because I've got plenty, and I've already started another bag. And then, like I said, I'm keeping a little bag there for the FPP because it creates a lot of little odd pieces. So if you do art quilts and collage quilting and all that kind of stuff, perfect for that. Don't buy it unless you do that stuff. So this was my scrap bin. This is like probably a little bit bigger than a 12 by 12. I think it's a little bit bigger size, almost a 13 or something. This is where I keep it, over there under my cutting board. I've got those cubbies, and this fits in it. It's right at the top, and I just slide it out about halfway, and as I'm cutting, if I have small strips and pieces, I'll throw it in here. Now bigger pieces that I can make squares out of, like 5 by 5 squares or 2.5 inch strips, those go somewhere else. I've got a whole nother thing of that. That's a cart. A 3-tier cart is what that is. But this was pushed all the way down as far as you could get it. Nothing else would go in there, but I have been working on the scraps. Not only did I pull out all the little odd art quilt pieces for those bags, I also managed the ones I want to keep, which I have decided I want to keep anything over an inch wide and longer than 6 inches. 6 inches or longer. That's my scraps. That's it. And I have made already some scrap quilting. This is so fun. I like doing this. But I have a bunch like this. Here's another bunch. And then I also have, I think this is 3-inch adding tape. So I take my cutoffs from those, if there's, like, let's say I have a 10-inch piece. So I use a 6-inch piece. Then I can go and put on a 3-inch piece and go with it. Works great. And then I've got longer ones that I can sew onto muslin or whatever. Here's another one. I love these. And here's a whole roll of the 3-inch ones. I've just got it rolled up. And I have a few blocks like this. I'm gonna quit doing this though. I like to do this. I might do it once in a while, but I'm not keeping scraps to do this anymore. These were pieces that I had down in there that were already started, and then I just added to them and squared them up somewhat. So I have all those. And then I have these. That's left over from a project, but I can use those. And then this is my big piece. So I could possibly take these blocks that I just made and get them onto my big piece if I was savvy about it. I might do that today just to get that out of the way. So that can go down into my scrap quilting box. And that's all I have to say about that right now. So I think I've got the scraps under control for the moment. Like I said the other day, I'm going to be making more scraps, more and more scraps all the time. So you have to stop and manage them sometimes. I'm caught on a cord. And yeah, just take care of those scraps because they do get out of control really quick. Now I've got lint all over me. What else is new? I've been wanting to make one of those aprons that people wear. I saw, who was it? Quilter on Fire was interviewed by So Yeah, she was at their shop. and she had one on, and it was a big cover, all covering thing, and it looked really comfortable. So I thought, I need to find a pattern for that. Also, in going through all of my things, I discovered that my batik bin, which is a bin the same size as this, is full. And I've got a couple of things out here that I want to do something with soon. This is some hand-picked fabric from So Yeah. I was there for the second retreat, and I got a couple of these, and I meant to make a March block a day. I don't remember the name of the pattern. I think it was called, you know how I am with names of patterns, terrible. That black and white quilt that I made with Pat Sloan's March block a day, that pattern, I want to make this with it. 2 colors is all you need for that. So I pulled that out to get that started. I'll probably get that started this week. And then, what else? Things I got into this week in the mail. Jordan Fabrics. They had something I couldn't resist. Here I go buying panels again. After I just got done with all of those, I couldn't resist this. It's called, well, it says Jewel Tones panel, but let me see. I got some yardage to go with it. I like to make a little quilt out of this. It's just called Jewel Tones Floral. Makeower UK. Makeower, M-A-K-O-W-E-R, UK. I thought this was probably something we would never see at So Yeah. But look at that. Look how pretty that is. All those flowers. And this is to go with this panel. And look at this panel. It's got aminals on it. I hope you're seeing it. Is there two of each? How many is? Yeah, there's 2 of each. So there's the cheetah and the zebra, and then the hummingbirds and the tiger. So that's the 4, and then you'll have 4 more on the other side. Same ones. Aren't those cool? I don't know. They would make pretty pillows too. I only have a yard of this though. This feels really good. It's like really good feeling fabric. But that came across on email. I get their email newsletter every day, and I just had to have it. So that came in. And then from So Yeah, the Alaska Humboldt sale, I got a MODA Kathy Holden's Flea Market Mix. This was, I don't remember how many yards. I want to say 8 yards. I think it was 8 yards. Isn't that pretty? There was also a coral background one. I almost got it too, but I thought, But this will make a nice backing for something. And then on another sale, I got this bundle. I didn't see what this was for you. I forgot. Henry Glass. Nana May 7. Nana May. But I thought these were just adorable and had to have them. 1 yard bundles of 3. A bundle of 3 1 yards is actually how I should have said that. Now, this is another thing I got from them that's a perfect example of how maybe getting a bundle was the right thing to do instead of getting yardage, because I wanted yardage. I didn't like their bundles, supposedly. So I thought, I'm going to wait till the yardage comes up and I'll just get a yard of the ones I want. But it's this steampunk stuff. I've got a weird light here. Turn that off. Keys. Interesting. And then these are cogs and zeppelins and clocks and all kinds of weird stuff. And then clocks, these are all clocks, and these are clocks. So the two clocks are same print, just different backgrounds. But these two I messed up and got the same background, which I wanted the keys. This one, I don't know. I think this is the only one they had the keys in. But I feel like I got a lot of the same thing here. But, you know, steampunk is kind of like grungy looking. But I thought this would look really cool with that abandoned material, which I don't have. I'll get some. I missed that sale when they had the last abandoned thing. I missed that. But some of this might go with that, especially the keys. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Some things just strike you and you just kind of feel like you have to have it. And that was one of them. Here's another one. And this is it. This is all I've bought lately. That's all. But anyway, this. Remember these the other day they had? A couple weeks ago? It's pots. I like these pots. And they had this on different backgrounds too, but I did write on this because I got this and then I got this. So these are very complimentary of each other. Let me see what this line is in case you... QT Fabrics. It's a Dan Morris. And is it called something? Don't tell me it's not called anything. Just says Dan Morris Design. Is that what he does? He doesn't name his fabrics? Fabric lines? I got another piece here. Let me see. Because this was part of the same line. Yeah. Yeah, I thought this was really cool. I like Southwest stuff. Isn't it pretty? Make a pretty blanket, wouldn't it? I am going to do something with this for the Wednesday video. So stay tuned this week, Wednesday, for what I'm going to do with this. Now, that same night, they had a line of these. And I got that color and this color. And this is from P&B Textiles. It's called Yulalita Mejia by Cosmos. Cosmos by Eulalia Mejia through Blue Mesa Designs. This feels good too. But coincidentally, after buying this, and they had this in all colors, but I saw this color and I was like, hey, that's gonna go with those pots. And then I got the turquoise, which is on here. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm gonna do something. I have an idea. I'm not just telling you, oh, I'm gonna do something. I do have an idea. But I'm gonna use these 4 fabrics and maybe something else for a border if I need to this Wednesday. And it's gonna be a tutorial. There will not be a written pattern, but it's going to be so easy you won't need one. You could probably take a couple of notes during the video and you'll have the pattern. We'll see. I might put everything in the description box, but as for a PDF or a written pattern, there's not going to be one. So they got that to look forward to. I'm anxious to get to working on that. And then let's see, it's time to talk about this week and what I'm going to propose getting done. And I have one more thing to show you though. Some of you probably have already seen this. The So Yeah subscription box. It's grunge this month. I got a full-size Aurifil and they put one of these seam ripper things in there. And then the block that I showed you that I got done. Okay, Monday the 30th, that is today. And today I'm going to make my Wednesday video. So I'm calling that the Southwest quilt video. And then let's see, Tuesday I want to work on the Harvest Square Dance quilt. I'm trying not to drop any balls on that one and work on it for an hour. And then also I'll have the Autumn Wonders block on Wednesday from Pat Sloan's Block a Week. And then I'm going to leave Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because we potentially will not be here. I'm going to take some things with me to sew. So we'll just see what seems handy for me to take. Trying to get one last camping trip in before the season is completely over. So that's gonna be fun. The weather's gonna be cool but nice. So this will be the last hurrah. Okay, the quilt of the week is, I'll put a picture of it right there. This is really cool. It's called Champagne Carnival, 91 by 99. It's huge. By Day K. Holland and Becky Holland of Scott, Louisiana. It says layering 8 fabric design repeats is time consuming, but it is Day's favorite technique. Arranging pieces in circle designs is fun when each one turns out different. The uncut fabric is featured in outer border. The quilt was assembled by Day's wife Becky and machine quilted by John Nichols in Mardi Gras Carnival Mask Designs. Champagne Carnival was juried in to the International Quilt Festival in Houston, Texas, and it was a first place winner at the Allen Parish Quilt Show in Oberlin, Louisiana. So this is from the Kaleidoscope Pinwheel Queen quilt pattern from Magic Stack and Whack Quilts by Bethany Reynolds. That's the same lady that I did my kaleidoscope pattern from. And it's a 1998 pattern from American Quilter Society. Yes. So if you're interested in doing kaleidoscope quilting or stack and whack quilting, this Bethany Reynolds, she was the originator of that, and she has several books and lots of patterns, lots of videos. You can take a paid class through American Quilter Society, which is what I did, and learn how to do this. And it's just amazing. I can totally relate to what he's saying about it's just so fun to see how each block turns out different. You're using this one fabric. That fabric that's around the edges is the fabric he used. But by that cutting technique, he got these 30 different kaleidoscope blocks. So cool. If you haven't tried that technique, you should. It is a lot of fun, and it's not as hard as it looks. You just gotta, once you cut it out, the initial cutting, and once you get that part done, the sewing together is not that bad. So that is what's going on this week, and we'll see what happens. I will not have a Friday video. Me. Sorry. I'm pretty sure I won't be here to be able to do it. But you can continue to send in your emails with your pictures, and I will use them next week. And who knows, if we get so many pictures in that it's just going to be too much, maybe we'll have 2 episodes and it'll be like you never missed one. Who knows? What else? I think that's all I have for you today. I wish all of you a wonderful week of sewing wherever you are and whatever you're working on, and go through your scraps and deal with those if you need to. Get in there and do that while I've got you motivated on it. So I'm still motivated too. I want to make some more scrap blocks myself, or strips rather. And I'm also going to take some of that 3-tier cart with me and do some cutting while I'm gone. I think that'll be advantageous to use my downtime for that. So yeah, sew a little bit every day, get something finished up, or start something you've been wanting to do. Sewing is very therapeutic and good for you. And I will see you guys back here on Wednesday for that Southwest quilt video. It's going to be super easy, and it'll be a stash buster, and you don't have to use Southwest fabric. If you've got another set of 4 fabrics, a yard each in your stash you don't know what to do with, this is a good one to do it with. So tune in on Wednesday, and if I don't see you on Friday, which I don't think I will, I'll see you back here on Monday. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye.